Right, so thank you guys for watching another video. I'm here now with my review of the Tomb Raider HD Trilogy. I know it has been a while since I got it, but I finally managed to play all the games and I'm sort of ready to do my review. And I will say, as usual, as you know by now, I don't have a capture card yet, so I'm doing the best I can to show you a bit of gameplay instead of just watching me, because I always find that it might be a bit boring if you just watch me for like near on 10 minutes. So yeah, I'll give you a bit of gameplay. But yeah, Tomb Raider Legend. This one, I've got little clips of each game. So Legend here is the first one. Admittedly, it did take me a while to get into the game. It wasn't really what I expected from a Tomb Raider game, because as I have said in a previous video, this was my first kind of experience with Tomb Raider as a whole. I'd never played the original on the PC or the PS1, and I was going into this game kind of with an expectation of it was kind of like a more kind of Prince of Persia style platformer with some puzzles, and well, it was I thought it was a lot more puzzle based than it was combat. But in Legend, there's a lot of kind of gun combat, which I wasn't expecting as well, and also some of the settings. You do one long mission in a skyscraper, like an office building, and it really wasn't what I expected from a Tomb Raider game. Even in the name of the franchise, Tomb Raider, I was expecting it to be like jungles and sort of like pyramids and kind of just raiding all these tombs, solving puzzles. But when I was playing Legend, it did kind of disappoint me a bit, I will have to admit, because like I said, I was expecting that side of gameplay to it. But I'm not saying it was a bad game. It was an enjoyable game. Maybe one that I don't know if I'm going to go back to, because it's so different to what I thought a Tomb Raider game was going to be. But it still had the certain aspects in there. It did have a lot of puzzles and things like that, but like I said, it was more focused on gun combat, and just like this here, that there's a lot of kind of like gun wielding henchmen around in the middle of tombs, which isn't what I expected, because I do know in the original that the enemies are kind of animals like tigers and wolves and things like that, which is a lot more realistic if you're going to be searching around in jungles and things like that. So that was a bit of a down point to me, but it's not to take away from the game. It was enjoyable. I will say that it does kind of show its age, because it was an early PS2 game, I think, this one, so the other two games in the trilogy do look a lot better. But overall, it was a decent game. I quite enjoyed it, so yeah. But Legend 1 maybe I'm going to forget about after a while. So I think as we move on to Anniversary now, this was a brilliant game. I thoroughly enjoyed Anniversary, probably a lot more than I did Legend, and maybe that's because it was a complete remake of the original. So because like I said, I'd never played the original. This is my first taste of Tomb Raider. So like the original story and things like that. So that's why I really loved it, and I fell straight in love with it. I put so many hours into it. I think, considering it's not like an open world game or anything, I think I've put 15 hours into it, which is a good amount of time for a PS2 game, which is completely linear, where you follow one path. So yeah, them hours went through really quickly. I really enjoyed it. Every time I stopped playing, I couldn't wait to get back on it and play a bit more. Like I was saying, which was a bad point about Legend, is the complete opposite on this one. There's not as much gun combat in this one. There's a lot of kind of puzzles and raiding temples and tombs, things like that. Missions that make you think. There was actually a few missions on here that I kind of had to really think hard to try kind of pull off. I even found myself looking at a few walkthroughs online. I had to cheat a little bit because it was hard, and that's what I want. I did want a challenge with these kind of puzzle games. So yeah, Anniversary had a good mix of kind of platforming like this. As you can see, there's a lot of platforming in the game, which is really good. That's what I wanted from the series. There is gun combat as well, but there's a lot more kind of animals this time. There's also dinosaurs in there, which is it's really cool, because that's what makes Tomb Raider unique. You don't really get a chance to kind of fend off tigers and dinosaurs in games. Sorry, the gun combat is usually kind of henchmen in games, and like I said, that's why I didn't really enjoy Legend as much as Anniversary. I thought that the story was really good in Anniversary. That the three stories in this trilogy, they all do link together. Even this one, which is a remake of the first, it does tie up some loose ends from Legend. So yeah, if you are thinking about getting it, it's definitely worth playing all of them in the order that they intend you to play them. So yeah, it's really, really good games. There's a lot of kind of unlockables and things like that, and all of the games you can play in Lara's mansion, where there's kind of assault courses, extra items and outfits to unlock, things like that. So it's a really, really fun game. That's what makes Tomb Raider unique, really, isn't it? Because because she's probably the most famous female game character, and two, because of that mix of kind of puzzle and story. And it just makes it really good. It's quite fun raiding tombs and things like that and searching for treasures. I do get into a bit of trouble with these wolves here. But yeah, really good gun gameplay, and that was Anniversary. Really, really enjoyed it, and that was really, really good. Really big step up from Legend, that I thought. So next up is Underworld. This is the PS3's Tomb Raider outing, and instantly you can see that it's a PS3 game. The graphics are great. I know that you can't really see because of the way I'm filming this, but the graphics really are really nice. Lara interacts with anything that you get near, and sort of like if you run through a bush or anything like that, she'll kind of like put her hands in front of herself to stop the leaves going in her face, things like that. And also, I don't know if you can see, but as she runs, you can see her ponytail kind of reacts to the way you run, and it like flicks around, which I thought was really good. It just makes it realistic, and it's really good to see that it goes back to kind of form. It doesn't go back to the Tomb Raider Legend style, and that it takes bits from Anniversary, well, the original Tomb Raider, and adds to it. You've got the gun combat in here, but it's not as many kind of like henchmen and things like that like in Legend, and it's back to more traditional Tomb Raider gameplay. I think they must have listened to a lot of fans' responses to Legend, because I know that it wasn't widely received, and fans wanted this type of gameplay again. They wanted to be climbing around jungles, searching for treasures and killing off giant lizards. And that's what Tomb Raider's all about. Like I said, that's what makes it unique. To talk about the game specifically, though, I think that it took me a while to get into Tomb Raider Underworld because it was so different from Anniversary and Legend, sort of like the controls and the kind of feel of the game. But that was expected because it was a game for a different console. It's a bit of a fail there by me. It was a game for a different console, so it was going to take me a while to get used to it. And at first, I didn't think I liked it as much as Anniversary, but as I gave it more chance and I've done these sort of missions like this, it's like I said, just to say at the moment as well, the settings in this game are really, really nice. It's really kind of dark, eerie jungles, which is really good. I love games like that where it's kind of, it doesn't take me to, I don't like games where I'm fighting through cities and things like that, because it's something that I see in sort of films and that I want to play something which I'm completely unfamiliar with, and that's what Tomb Raider Underworld has given me. It's a really, really enjoyable game, and definitely one I really recommend you check out. Like I said, I recommend you check out the whole trilogy if you're interested in the reboot that they're making early next year. But yeah, good gun gameplay in this, good platforming gameplay, a lot of tricky puzzles as well. I have found myself stuck on the puzzles on this quite a bit, but yeah, a very, very enjoyable game, and probably the best of the trilogy if you give it a chance. So yeah, definitely check these out. On the trilogy as a whole, it's a brilliant HD trilogy. They're all kind of upscaled into HD really well. It's also in 3D as well, so if you've got a 3D TV, that's really good. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough. If you like Prince of Persia and all the other kind of HD trilogies, this is definitely one of the good ones. 3 lengthy games, and 3 games that you should definitely check out. So that was my review. Thanks for watching this video.